Okay, Jeb, I want to talk about something that people in my age group, we do talk about now. Younger people, they don't talk about life insurance and they don't talk about wealth transfer. But I have kids. I have plans that I want to do with my children. I want to leave stuff to my children. Address that, kind of give us an overview.
Excellent. We come across this every day, Charlie, when we're calling on clients. And typically it involves kids or children. And the conversation really starts from a planning perspective and doing the fact finding and the needs analysis is really there's typically a pool of money, a particular account that client has. They're not using it for income. They don't foresee needing it in the future to live off of. And a lot of times they'll just come right out and say that money is going to our children when we pass. They're not always ready to talk about life insurance, and a lot of them haven't heard about life insurance as wealth transfer. But the question is really simple. You ask that client, well, what if I could show you a way to pass more of that money on to your kids in an income tax-free way? Would that be something that would interest you? Not only more, but potentially 2 to 3 times more, depending on a lot of factors that go along with underwriting life insurance. But it's very powerful.
Jeb, you just said something that I don't think I even knew. You said that insurance there's no income tax on it. Is that right?
Life insurance proceeds, death proceeds, are income tax-free. They're not always entirely tax-free. Policies have to be structured in a very particular way ahead of time to avoid potential estate taxes.
Okay.
Yes, all life insurance proceeds are income tax-free. That is correct.
Okay, Jeb, just to touch on that one more time, if all life insurance is income tax-free, why hasn't anybody told me about that?
Well, you know, we hear that all the time. Why hasn't anybody told me about this solution? And the answer's pretty simple, and it's a little unfortunate, but typically it means whoever that agent or advisor or broker is that's been calling on that client, really, they either didn't have it in their bag, so to speak, to present, but worse, they may not have been prepared, educated, or trained to present it. And even worse than that, they may have been, but unwilling to handle the transaction, because it can be a lengthy process, the underwriting process, and some will actually walk away from that opportunity rather than mess with it, which should be criminal, really, to not help a client with such a very important need or solution simply because you were unwilling to do the transaction. CLA, we prefer to work with agents that are not only educated and trained in identifying a problem that might be remedied by life insurance, but presenting the solution and handling the transaction from start to finish. So it's not for everybody. It takes the right agent, but we're confident that our agents are prepared to handle whatever the need is based on the fact-finding and analysis they do with our clients.
Well, you know, based on what I'm listening to you say, it's not as simple and easy as a lot of people make it sound, because these agents have to be trained, they have to be taught, and they have to be prepared to present this, because you're right. Again, I refer back to people my age. At my age group, we don't have any time to not be given all the facts, because we need to make good decisions.
Yeah. I can't think of anything worse than to have that need and not see the option or the solution simply because an agent or an advisor or broker doesn't know how to handle it.
Okay, now I've got a tough question. It almost sounds too good to be true. So is there a catch? What's the catch?
Well, it's not too good to be true, but it's not automatic either. You have to qualify. And what do we mean by qualify? Well, you have to be healthy enough. So you have to be extremely healthy. You have to be healthy enough. Let's talk about that. A lot of people are hearing these radio ads or even TV spots on term insurance, quoting these low rates for $1 million of insurance. Well, that's term insurance. We're talking about permanent life insurance. But the rates they're typically quoting are for the absolute healthiest individual on their chart. So that's one end of the spectrum right there. The other end of the spectrum is somebody who unfortunately has maybe had a stroke or cancer or whatever, that they're in outright decline. They're simply not going to be accepted for life insurance. But there's a lot of people along that spectrum that have different health issues. They're going to pay different premium amounts, and they're going to get different benefit for that premium amount depending on their health. Fortunately, we're able to offer a number of different products and solutions from a number of different carriers that can address not everybody. You can't get everybody, but a lot of people who may have been declined in the past, we may be able to get them a policy. It just depends. It depends on the situation, and the only way to find that out is fact-finding, thorough analysis, and understanding how it all works.
Okay, so one size does not fit all. What I'm hearing you say is you can't help everybody, but in a lot of cases you've been able to help people who have been turned down.
Absolutely.
So that makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
For people to do more investigation into what CLA USA offers.
Sure. Give us the opportunity. If we can't help you, we'll tell you.
Okay, Jeb, I've got another question that you and I both know comes into the office all the time.
Yeah.
Do I have access to any of the money in the policy while I'm still living?
It's a great question. With traditional life policies, permanent life insurance, you have access to the cash if there's cash build up there via policy loans, and actually at very discounted rates. But it's not something that we recommend. I mean, that's if you have to, that's one thing. But if you take out a loan on your policy, it's going to affect the benefit of that policy, the most important thing. Now, we're going to talk about hybrid long-term care in another segment. Some of those life insurance policies with long-term care riders on them have some benefit that if certain conditions are met, say terminal illness, chronic illness, critical illness, that would enable you to have access to that money and the entire account in some cases. They even have return of premium riders that may very well give you all of your premium back.
Jeb, we've been talking about life insurance as a wealth transfer. Let me just take about 20 more seconds and just kind of wrap this all up and bring it back into focus. Life insurance is not just a cost. It can be used as a wealth transfer. You can access money while you're still living, but you have to plan ahead, and some of the planning that you have to do is for your heirs. If you have intentions of leaving certain amounts of money for your heirs, life insurance can actually be used, if I understand that correctly, to make that a larger amount of money. Sure. It's something you've got to look into, but you have to look into it. It's something, it's very important in your life that you do it now.